No, oddly enough. And I think probably you're right. I think that's what most people are looking for. I think they're looking for an answer outside of themselves, and they're never going to find it. I think by this time I realized it was something in me. I met a man here in Toronto. He was one that originally got me involved in studying this, Ray Stanford. And he told me if I didn't like the results I was getting in my life, that I was going to have to change me because they were my results. And he said, if you're going to change you, you're going to have to find out something about yourself. And that seemed to make sense. I don't think it was an earth-shattering idea. It wouldn't give anybody a brain hernia, but it made a hell of a lot of sense to me. So I started to study myself. I found most people don't know who they are. They really don't.
What do you mean? Well, I mean, I know my name, I know my age, I know where.
Yeah, that's not you, though. You know, that's
what
just
size,
if you ask the average person who they are, they'll give you their name. They'll say, I'm Bob Proctor, but I'm not. Bob and Proctor are two words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like, you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick.
Okay.
You know, we don't say am hand or am leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? Well, that's an interesting question. And I believe if a person will start to study that and look for the answer, they'll find it. See, I think we live simultaneously on three planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies.
Okay.
But because we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
Okay, and would you call that one of the barriers to success?
Oh, there's no question about it. I think there's two barriers. Success is a funny word. Nightingale had a great definition for it. He said a person's successful if they know where they are, and they know where they're going, and they're progressively moving in that direction. He said that success was the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Anyone that has a goal, and they're moving towards it, they're successful. Most people think that you're successful if you have a lot of money. Quite often you have a lot of money if you're successful, but it isn't. I wouldn't say Mother Teresa has a lot of money.
Okay.
No, but she's a pretty successful lady. So it's...
so that barrier to success...
Well, there's a couple of them.
Okay.
I think there's two barriers. One is our conditioning. The conditioning that takes place in our subconscious mind from the time we're infants. All we can do is act, talk like people around us. That's why we learn the language we learn. If there was 10 languages spoken in our home, we'd learn 10 languages without any trouble. There's usually one, and that's the only one we ever learned. We grow older, we think, oh, I couldn't learn another language. We could learn 100 if we wanted to. You can do anything. But I think we're conditioned. We have a real strong conditioning, usually with not some very good ideas. And then that's the barrier that's inside us. The one that's outside of us is our environment. We have a tendency to act like everybody around us. And if you think about this, it does make a lot of sense. Because if you study statistics, 95% of the people live their entire life and never live the way they want to live. You know that 95% of the population in this country, let's say in North America, the richest continent in the history of the world, they'll work productively, let's say for 40 of their 65 years, and they'll end up with hardly any money. Well, there's got to be something wrong.
So there's not much...
5% of the people end up financially comfortable or independent.
Are you trying to depress us, Bob? That's,
No, actually, I think it's quite an exciting idea, because you see, the idea behind it is that anybody can win, anyone at all. But if we start studying these statistics, I think we'll arrive at the conclusion, geez, I better start thinking for myself rather than follow everybody. Most people, they get a job, they look around and see how everybody else is doing their work, and they start doing it the same way. They should stop and think, I wonder if any of these people know what they're doing. You know, is there a better way to do it?
Well, don't we have a need to fit in? I mean, we don't want to stand out. We don't want to get fired. We don't want to make waves.
Exactly. Just fall into line. You know, take a number. Be like everybody around. You know, that'd be great in the animal kingdom. But human beings aren't supposed to live that way. I think we should make a few waves. We should maybe stand out, be different. Not for the sake of being different, but because we are different. We all think different thoughts. And I believe we should start to think and build images in our mind of what we'd like to do and then set out to do it. Emerson did that, Edison did that, Marconi did that, Samuel Morse did that. Minister Fuller did that. We could go on and on and on. They were different. They stood out. They made a few waves.
No, I think the root cause is much the same. I think it's the programming, it's the paradigms. Culture is a paradigm. Countries have paradigms, companies have paradigms, and of course individuals have paradigms. And those paradigms are very deep-rooted, and they really control us. And the bizarre part of the whole thing is that we didn't write the code for the program that's controlling our life. Someone else did. And someone that was not very well read at all. We have a program in our subconscious mind, and much the same as the programs in the computer. And that program in our subconscious mind controls our behavior. And for the most part, in 90 high percent of the cases, the program was written by people who were totally ignorant as to what they were doing. They had no idea what they were doing. And that, it's a very difficult thing to change. You don't just haul it out like you would out of your computer. It really has to be altered and has to be changed. And it takes a respectable understanding to do that. It takes a lot of discipline, which is the probable reason so few people do change very much in their whole life. You know, and it's rather sad because, like, as I always believe, we're God's highest form of creation. We're all exactly the same. I don't care where you're from or, you know, how you think you're different. We're really not any different. We're really all the same. The mind operates, so first of all, there's only one mind. I think that's where we should probably look. And we're all an expression of that mind. And I see mind as a movement, not a thing. And we're an expression of that movement. So I think there's a tremendous educational job has to be done. And the educational institutions that are set up in the world are not doing it. And they've never done it properly. It's created, I think what they've done is add to the problem that exists, you know.